All right, welcome everybody. David, thank you so much for coming back into the clinic.
Thank you, Dr. Nick.
Every time you and I get together, I mean, we never know how long the conversation is going to go.
Yeah.
There's so many things to talk about with you.
I always have to book a few hours. Even if it's like, hey, we got to catch up for 10 minutes, it's always an hour I have to book at least.
It's so true. It's funny because we get together because when you meet someone that's so aligned with your message and your purpose, the synergy happens. And, we were just talking about different clients that we get a chance to work with on either end, right?
Yeah.
On the naturopathic side, on the training side, and how people feel supported in that experience, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was just sharing right before this, we had a completely different topic to talk about, but I really am grateful that everybody I send to your clinic gets such good guidance and support and everything that I believe in too.
Yeah.
Just I've witnessed in my own family and lots of clients I've seen is people are let down all the time, and it's the lack of communication either between industries or the field that they're competing, so they won't help each other or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, like everybody of our shared clients just seems to get success and support.
Well, it's so true, and it's actually hard, and unfortunately, it's hard for people in the world that we live in when they're looking at Dr. Google or Trainer Google and trying to find all your answers by searching endlessly. And you and I have done that work, right? We've done the research, we've applied, we've experimented. I mean, another reason why I love this man is that he just, whatever I say, hey, you should gotta start trying this. Great, I'm gonna test it out, see if it works. And so we're doing the work for people.
Yeah, we're the guinea pigs, so you don't have to. So like usually when I'm saying things, I'm like, don't do this because it doesn't work, because I've tried it. Yeah. And I tried it repeatedly to see if it would work.
So true. And we do the same. And one of the things that I think is so beautiful about finding a team of people that you can work with is just that unified conversation, right? Yeah. Because when you can hear that the nutritional pieces match with movement pieces, which match with even postural correction or mindset, when you're getting that across these different platforms, the value for that individual just starts to go through the roof.
Yeah. Right.
Because we know the modern medical system where everything's compartmentalized. Yeah. You're getting this message over here, this message over here. Fat is good, fat is bad. Do that exercise, don't do that. I mean, it's chaos.
It's overwhelming.
It's so overwhelming for people. So we were just actually talking about a client recently who started to get some real success in her program, and we got a chance to really revel in the fact that we got to support that person in our own kind of way, but really towards this bigger goal.
Yeah, exactly. And the real easy win is it allows them to be consistent, because we're consistently saying the same message. We're the professionals, so we know from history what works and what doesn't. We still actively listen and try to figure out the root cause or root ask for the help. And between the two of us, we've been able to, our teams help them conquer all their goals, which is really, like, that's why I got into the fitness world. To truly listen and help. And
you, I mean, we're just talking about how you've evolved as a trainer, right? It's not just about, movement anymore. Like, I'd love to just chat about how you've seen your own evolution and how that's impacted the clients you've worked with.
Yeah, so it's completely different than when I first started training too, because the first training was basically how I was taught is just beat people up. That's what they need. And any way possible to make them sweat almost. It's not exactly that, yes. And really most people can create some kind of good program for you. But yeah, it's not just the physical. It's how to do the physical properly, but largely the mental too. Like all our clients, we also prescribe stuff like mindfulness things or meditation or gratefulness journals. And whether you want to accept to believe it or not, it does help. And it's crazy how simple it is. It's usually the simplest things that eventually, and maybe you'll go through trying a whole bunch of things for years and then finally come back and be like, oh darn, this simple thing.
Now I get this, right?
And I didn't believe it either. I was like, okay, when I first started doing gratefulness journals, I'm like, fine. And then
I was told to do it, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So I like being open-minded. That's why anything when I come in to see you guys and you have something cool and new, I'm always like, okay, let's try it out.
Yeah.
And anybody, even my clients, are like, if they mention something that I personally haven't tried, I'll research it, I'll try it, and I won't poo-poo the idea, but I'll say, this is the side effects that I found. If you want to try it, it might work different with you.
Because I mean, our physiology is so unique, right? We're all different. How we move, how we think, how we breathe, how we how we eat, how we digest. It's all unique. I got a frog in my throat right now. One of the things that I think is so powerful about your story is you've been on the other side. Like you've been in a place where you felt like your body's gotten away from you. Like you feel like you're out of control. So can you talk about just the emotional pressure and social pressure of being in that state? And because this was sure as a physical journey for you, but I mean, it was so much more than that. So if you can kind of talk about that a little bit, that'd be...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I love storytelling. It is almost, I attack almost everything mentally because that's what I had to go through too. So it's not just working out and then you'll look good and stuff like that. Because if it's as simple as that, you'll probably do unhealthy things to get there. And when I was new to, or before I was even a trainer, before my knowledge, I did unhealthy things to kind of get there. When I was overweight, I would overdo the cardio by a significant amount, drink energy drinks or anything to try and increase my heart rate, starve myself, do all these things, and they just weren't working. And that's the common things that I constantly still hear throughout the fitness industry, especially at the extreme levels, whether they're athletic, maybe competing. Messed that around with my metabolism, and then over time, as I gathered new knowledge, I did the almost opposite. Like I had to slow down, less is more. Focus largely on the mental, realize that the workouts are for mental, and the bonus is that you eventually look good too. But I go into it with the mental aspect, being like, I'm going to feel great today if I do my workout, and I focus on the workout is more meditative. So I'm going into it and being really in tune with my body. Like I believe every time we connect, when I would hire you guys, I'm like, I think this, and this is going on. So I'm hyper aware of everything. And I love that feeling. I don't like to not know what's going on in my body.
Yeah. I mean, your story is so powerful and it's so universal, right? I mean, the fact that we get focused on metabolic rate or what supplement's going to burn fat better, or if I crush my 40 hours of gym this week, then I'm gonna be the person that I've always been striving towards. And you just spoke such great wisdom just now, and really your workout is for your mind. Man, like that's some powerful information, and it goes against so much of what we're marketed to from a movement point of view. So talk about that, because that's huge.
And that's actually my hardest battle is typically a client will come in and say, I'm doing this, all these activities, which is great. It's better than doing nothing, but they're doing too much. And then they want to take on one more thing. And then my hardest battle is trying to figure out what they actually love doing or what they're told that they should love doing. And they trick themselves into kind of liking something. So my most valuable thing is time. So I like to try to save myself time, them time, so you can be more with your family and friends and loved ones. Because again, everything is all mental, right? So you need a community to help you.
Totally.
So yeah, even in my own workouts, lots of times if you see me at a different gym around the city, or if I'm traveling, lots of times my eyes will be closed as I'm maybe doing a pulling exercise or pushing exercise, and I'm focusing on what's happening with my breath, where my breath is it my lower stomach, is it my chest, which muscles are kind of activating, and I'd say that's more meditative because there's nothing else I can focus on in that moment. I can't focus on what I'm going to eat later or who I'm going to see because I'm just so in tune and grounded.
Or you could be looking at yourself in the mirror and going...
Or I could be looking at my guns.
Totally.
But as long as I'm zoned in.
Exactly. It's meditative. But again, you brought up such an important point. When we're teaching Kundalini Yoga, we're in this experience of yoga, our eyes are closed too. Because it really is an internal experience. And what a beautiful, gift that you're giving people with that teaching, because it's really turning the light back inside. It's turning that attention back inside on working on ourselves internally. And we're having a physical external experience, but I mean you're taking that physicality and turning it inwards, which is such a huge blessing for people when they start to really understand what working out is really all about.
Right? And then they'll eventually want to do it because they love the side effect, not that they have to do something. And that's the same as me. I do it not because I have to, because I love the outcome all the time. And even if it's a down day or up day, whatever you may decide it is in your head, as long as you make that effort, even if it's 5 minutes, 1 minute, 60 minutes, you're still working on yourself. And maybe if it was just breath work because you were sore, maybe it was just standing properly.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because when you had me come and do an initial assessment with you that one time, you're like, no, you got to move like this. Like, you use your breath to I think we're doing like a seated sort of arm raise.
Yeah.
And you're like, you put your hands on my back and said, look, you're not actually activating those muscles. Like, get inside your body to really focus on what that feels like to lift from that area of your system. I mean, amazing to be able to be so connected to your body that you can actually individualize those little muscle groups. And, you know, David didn't always look like this.
No.
Right? Like, I mean, he was an overweight guy, not knowing how to put all these pieces into place. So, you know, what you're seeing is commitment, consistency, and what he's building is community, right? I mean, it's a beautiful example, and you're sharing it through this lens of like, this is an internal process that the people are working on. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's why I love partnering with you, because everything is not just what's the problem, here's the prescription, bye. It's totally. Okay, you're telling me this, and it kind of links back to this, and you're trying to piece it all together. And I've noticed in the medical industry that most of the time they're not problem solving, they're just quickly reacting. They're like, oh, okay, there's a problem here, just slap this Band-Aid on, slap that one, slap that one, slap that one, and hopefully it holds together. Hopefully it holds together, and then even if the problem's, it's just completely broken. And I love that you always attack it from, yes, you're trying to figure out what the root problem is, and then after, your suggestions are like on preventative versus reactive, because we don't have to be in a reactive system. Totally. We individually choose if we want to be proactive or reactive.
That's a big teaching.
You have the choice most of the time. Sometimes you don't. Life's not always fair, but usually I've seen the people that don't have that choice are healthier because when they're at younger ages and different things, they had to go through something, and they're like, "Whoa, now I have to be preventative for the rest of my life." And those are the clients that I've noticed with Mia for sure that are like super crazy healthy and have the best quality of life.
So true, and that's the thing. Like, you know, some people feel like it's too late. You know, I'm never gonna have the body I want. I'm never gonna have the energy that I want, or whatever that is, but it has to start somewhere, right? And you know, to your point of you know, what happens in our clinic is that, you know, when we're looking at someone or looking at someone's health line, we understand that everything that showed up over someone's life has contributed to where they are right now. And so we call that going upstream. Like, what's upstream to the downstream problem? Just like with you, when you're working with someone, you get a full synopsis or look at symmetry, you look at movement, and you're like, where are people breaking down? It's not that they can't just do that bicep curl. It's just, you know, the posture's not there, the alignment's not there, the mindset's not right, and relating and reframing what it means to get healthy, to stay healthy, to be committed, to be consistent. It's all of these things together.
Exactly.
And part of it, it's the container, right? It's like David and I create a container in our two spaces that show what's possible, right? And we talk about the journey, we talk about the challenges that people are going to face along the way, but basically you're in a community environment where everything's being supported, right?
Yeah, both our teams, there's like a strong community. We both have communities within our community to help each other, so that you don't have to be just you against the world. It's this whole community that's like-minded individuals. And I like that both of us and our teams empower you. So we say, if you would like to do this, this is what it would look like. This is roughly how long it might take you to do that. You don't have to do that, but this is what it could like. You're looking at it from a cellular level. I'm looking at it like right there, then and there, muscle. Like, okay, well, when we can get you to stand properly, great, then we can progress to the next thing and rapidly progress as soon as you master that. It's a crazy domino effect. Same thing on probably, I'm guessing, on the cellular level. It's like, once we do this, this will be the hard work, but then afterwards it's a chain reaction that this can lead to whatever you choose to do, which is so cool.
And we say, like, you know, you remove the interference and the body heals itself, right? It's just like you remove the interference from a postural alignment point of view, from a breath point of view, from a mindset point of view. You remove that interference so the body can heal. one of the things I wanted to ask you about, because, and again, talk about people just getting beat up in the gym or crushing their workout, getting on with your day, getting back into your to-do mode or your to-do list.
Yeah.
Let's talk about recovery. Like, what does it mean to really be in recovery? And because we want to talk about some of the stuff that we're doing here at the Longevity Lab and how our two communities work together and implement recovery. But like, this is a huge focus for you.
Yeah.
Recovery and maintaining. And so if you could talk a little bit about that, that'd be awesome.
So yeah, that's a good point to mention. So everybody's different, but I'd say the biggest thing is how taxed or stressed you or your body is.
Yeah.
If you're not as taxed or not as stressed, you can go more often. And I've experimented, let's just relate it to workouts. I can do similar types of workouts every 24 hours when my whole body's calm. Because I exerted the right amount of effort during the workouts and also mentally for the rest of the day, everybody I communicated with.
Yeah.
If something's out of alignment, maybe it could take longer. Stuff that I'm putting in my body, let's just say I have a few glasses of wine tonight or something like that. Well, maybe instead of my workout tomorrow, I have to push it to the next day. Might not be significant that much, but if I have to keep slowly pushing things, how I'm fueling my body. It's all stress at the end of the day.
And sleep too.
Yeah,
right?
and sleep. So if you don't have enough sleep or proper sleep, again, your body's not repaired enough. So I would say it's the state of how stressed your body is. And most people don't know, unfortunately, how much stress their body's incurred until they're reaching you and things are slowly maybe shutting down.
Yeah.
Totally. Or they're coming to me and I'm like, let's not even work out yet. They need to go to you because if I do one more thing, it's like filling that cup of water and that's your stress line, and now it's just spilling over. Like, I'm going to do a negative to you.
Totally. Well, I love you said that, because this is part of creating your own individualized plan.
Yeah.
Is that if you don't know how to recover, forget about the workouts right now. Let's focus on how do you actually, what does your day look like so you can set yourself up for success. You're not crushing the same workout every day. You're not doing the exact same machines every single day, just different body group. You're really focusing on how is my recovery than the last 24 hours? How's my week been? Like, maybe if there's been a lot of stressful communications at work or at the family home, or sleep hasn't been great, like, how adaptable are you? And this is a big conversation we have with our clients, is that in the modern world that we live in, with our to-do list, with the amount of blue light we're exposed to, the electromagnetics, the toxins, just the daily stressors, the poor food, the malnutrition, we're stuck in a state of maladaptation.
Right.
And so we're not adapting well to our environment. So when you crush a gym workout or get the best bottle of supplements you can imagine, it's not really serving you because you're not addressing the underlying pathology, which is maladaptation. So I talk about that from an oxygen point of view, full breath. Talk about from a light point of view, what kind of light are we exposing ourselves to? Are we cleansing the mind and the subconscious mind at nighttime? Are we resting and recovering enough at nighttime? So maladaptation is basically what we've turned our clinic into, is a way to overcome the modern world in the form of what we've coined the Longevity Lab. So let's talk about like integration. So someone hits a crazy hard workout, or they hit a workout. They're rolling along. They're doing some great things for themselves physically. They're starting to make some of the changes dietary wise, and then it's time to, like, how do we upgrade recovery?
Right.
And how do we upgrade muscle growth? How do we increase the speed at which we're burning through fat? And that's the next sort of
that's the exciting part that I want to hear more about. So you have a new longevity lab, and you have lots of cool new toys, I'll call them.
That was kind of what they
and I'm gonna use them very frequently, because like anything to repair a little bit faster to get me to my goals faster with less time involved. Cool. I have more time for family and friends.
Well, and that's it. And so on that point of oxygenation, malillumination, some of the things that I've coined. I call it another one called malboredumation. Like we're not comfortable being bored anymore, and so
that's crazy true.
That's so true. I mean, we're bombarded by things in our to-do list. So some of the tools that we brought in, a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, saturate yourself in an oxygen-rich environment. We know that speeds up healing. Red light therapy and near-infrared light. This is a way to activate your mitochondrial health, increase cellular energy so you can speed up recovery and repair and bring down inflammation. Another one is a detox foot bath, where you're basically creating a mechanism to create flow and elimination of toxicity. Infrared sauna. We all know that those are amazing. We've got something called the Ajna light, which is working on our subconscious patterning, some of our emotional trauma that's not being released. Brainwave entrainment, you've done some neurofeedback sessions
that was
before.
Really awesome.
Right? So there's a lot of tools that we want to implement, obviously along with IV therapy, to really repair the body faster, because the more adaptable we can become in our environment, the healthier we are. Yeah. I mean, Darwin actually coined this, like, it's not the survival of the fittest, it's the survival of those who are most able to adapt to their environment.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
If you're not moving, if you're not, hitting the gym, if you're not doing some workouts, if you're not moving your body, that's what I've called mallocomotion.
Right.
Like, you're not teaching the body the adaptability of movement.
Yeah, exactly.
It's huge.
And if you reflect back to, let's just say, a little bit simpler, like our grandparents or great-grandparents, depending on how old you are, they moved all the time, and lots of that generation, lived till like 90, 100, 110, and it wasn't just that they're just around, they're around and well.
Yeah.
And it's quality of life, which is my biggest thing too. Yes, everybody can get through life, but why would you want to just get through life? Sounds terrible to me.
It does. It totally does.
I want to like live life to the fullest, be optimal, do the things that I choose to do. Like whenever I want. If I want to be able to quickly sprint across the street because the light's changing, I want to have the ability to do that. I don't want to have to think about that and think about I have knee pain and can I move that fast? And then before I know it, the light's changed already.
Yeah. Or worse yet, you're on your bike and the car comes in the way because you couldn't move fast enough.
There's always things like, so I want the ability to whatever I want to do, no matter what the age is. If I'm 30, if I'm 90, if I want to do things, I can. So.
Well, that's our definition of longevity. It's not about the number of years we're living, but it's the quality of life in those years, right? And again, that just comes back to that same core message of how adaptable are your environment. Like, are you able to run across the road? Are you able to pick up your kids and play at the park for a couple hours? How adaptable and how much vitality can you bring into as many moments as you can in life? And that's the whole idea. And that's why, like if you don't have a healthcare team working with you, you're not covering all the bases, right? And that's where we saw gaps. We can only do so much as individuals.
Right.
We can only even do so much within our team. And that's why, like, I really feel like the next movement in energy over the next 10, 15, 20, 100 years is really understanding the role of collaboration and moving out of competition. Because we can't do it all, we need a team.
Yeah, we need experts, and we have been really lucky and blessed and surround ourselves with like-minded people. So we have a whole bunch of experts that we already outsource to all the time. Yes, you can handle a great deal of stuff, but I've witnessed the same with you as what I do is if there's somebody that does it better than you, then why don't outsource to them?
Totally.
Because maybe they're slightly more passionate in that realm, and it's not that you're not passionate, it's just that's what they focus on all day long. Same thing if you're working on a business, like if you're gonna hire somebody to do search engine optimization, would you rather have a professional that's doing it day in or day out, or just somebody that's like, I could probably figure it out, I guess?
Right. Well, it's funny because, like, I mean, speaking of adaptability, that's something that you've actually adjusted in your business. You've recognized that there's certain gifts that you have and certain qualities, and there's an interest there, and that's part of like the beauty of discovering who you are, is you could start to cultivate some of these areas that you didn't realize that you were really good at, and that you had actual interest in. So, I mean, that's a journey for you as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it all comes down again to knowing your body, be in tune with it, calming it. And it's a constant work. It's not something where it's like, I fixed it, now it's good. Forever. It's something that you're maintaining and learning, because there's more efficient ways to do things all the time. And as more research comes out, as more people try things, you're like, okay, these are the similar things that work. Let's keep going in that direction. If these things didn't work as well, then why would I continue doing it if it doesn't serve me as well?
Totally. And that's the definition of insanity there, right?
Yeah.
And we say this even with nutrition. Sometimes people get on a new diet, they're like, this is amazing. This diet works so well. And then they keep doing the diet for years, and then it stops working at some point. Like if we don't bring in variability, just like workouts, if you keep working on your legs, which actually that's not a good example because most people don't work on their legs.
But if you're working on the same thing, if it's nutrition the same exact exercise done the same way all the time, same supplement. You have to, the body gets used to things and it gets very smart. Just like, again, if you want to relate it to nutrition really quickly, for the people like myself, when I did it before, when you're on a starvation kind of diet, the body's like, cool, we can run and survive on 500 calories. Yeah. And it becomes a smart car now. And then you're like, I didn't want a smart car, I wanted my body to be a Ferrari. So you have to trick it to let it to become those things. And it's about constantly making smart tricks, I guess you want to say, or tips.
Well, and it has to do with like, what does evolution look like? It's constantly refining, right? Constantly refining what we do, what we put into our body, how we move, how we interact with others, how we interact with ourselves, how we choose to grow in a business or in a relationship. It's a constant state of refinement.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is, the more we keep learning this tool of adaptation, keep working in collaboration, finding ways where, areas where we need to shine some more light on ourselves or fitness plan or whatever it would be, then we're on the right train, right? Like we're going to the right station, we're on the right train, and we know when to switch trains to get to the next destination, right? I mean, it's really about putting all these tools together.
Yeah, and for professionals like ourselves, I love, like, again, because we're always being like checking out newer technology, newer research, seeing if it is better, not just jumping on it, and then looking at all the facts and trying it ourselves, because we are huge nerds, and seeing, and then we're like, okay, these are the similar things, like, so, and everything's changing, and that's why we have to constantly change. So your health care professionals should be open to looking at other changes. They don't have to necessarily make them, but understand why. Again, like, even look at just in the last 10 years, how much more we are engaged on phones and all these notifications. Like a simple tip and win that I give to so many people is, it's kind of like if you have a desk at work and it's just cluttered with stuff. So if you look at your phone and there's apps over apps over apps, pages and pages. If you look at my phone, I have like 4 folders, like personal, work, and a couple other folders, and everything goes in there. The rest of the screen is like just my background picture, which is of where my honeymoon was, so it's nice. It brings me back to that. Awesome. And then I turn off all notifications on everything, so I don't have badge icons or anything, except for have badge icons on like a couple of family things when I need it, and a couple of client things for emergencies. And it doesn't ding or vibrate, it just says like a 1 or 2, because everything we treat as an emergency. So every time you get a ding or vibrate, like, oh, I gotta check my watch, I have to check my phone, who is it? And you won't, like, why did you need, you're like, oh, I don't need to respond to this. And you do that all day long. And probably if you turn all those off, you'll still be looking at your phone at least, I'd say, once an hour, at the bare minimum.
Right. Speaking of
exactly. So I would challenge you to try to do that, even on your home screen, your lock screen or whatever, before you open up your phone. If it was just a nice background picture, and if there's a couple of people that need absolutely to get in touch with you that second, then have it on for them. If they can survive and wait an hour, then I would recommend turning off all those notifications if you can.
And then it ties back to recovery right there. Like, how are you supposed to recover if you're constantly in the sympathetic dominant state, right?
And then your client's like, I don't know why I'm stressed.
Shoulders are up there. Gotta check my phone.
Exactly.
It's so true. Well, you know what? We're gonna keep going. These conversations are so important, but I want to hook this guy up to some of our new recovery machines.
Okay.
And so we're gonna go do that, and we'll have more videos to come in this new year. 2020 is all about clear vision, seeing through the smog of life and the challenges, and getting very clear on things. And so part of getting clear for me is finding amazing individuals to collaborate and to communicate and to build community with. So grateful for you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm grateful for you and your team. Thank you so much.
Cool. Okay, that's it for now.
Cheers, everybody.